Good morning, everybody. It is July 3rd. I thought I was going to say a different month. I'm sorry. Um, I'm going to apologize ahead of doing this video because um, I've been having. Well, the only way I can describe it is brain farts where I pause because my brain is trying to eat. My brain is trying to catch up. My brain is not awake. My body is awake. My brain is like, what? Really? We're going to start this at a little bit before 11, or a little bit before 11, which last day or two I have been waking. I've set my alarm for 11 because it's like I want to get a little extra sleep because I worked hard the night before. That's been going on for 2 days straight. Thursday and Friday we busted our tails. Thursday night we finished doing the tiling. We had all the tiling laid out, so all we had to do Friday was move furniture. Well, Friday morning, Jerry decided that she wanted to cut strips of the floor tiling because we had a little bit of a gap between the back wall and the tiling. So she wanted to make sure everything was snugly put in place so it couldn't move, this way, and won't have much room to move anyhow because of the way we did the tiles. But she has all that on film, and so Friday, basically what we did is once we got up, we laid those tiles down. We waited a moment or two to eat breakfast and whatnot, and then we arranged all but two pieces of furniture. Those two pieces of furniture I'm going to deal with this morning because the one piece is the king-size bed frame that I got to put together and put in its place so we can take the click-clack sofa that's in the craft room and put it into the office space. Or bedroom space, I'm sorry. I told you, my brain is kind of like, blip, 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 what? So once I get those two things done, which I'm 99.9% sure I will have done this morning. So later on in the afternoon, it's basically just cleanup. Because yesterday we put the furniture in place. We set up the H cabinet for my dresser and figured out what we're going to do with it and what we can put where, and got that all done. I have a small pile of stuff on my nightstand that I have to decide what I'm going to do with. Jerry said keep them and put them up as decorations because I have a number like four or more pocket watches that are dead. They're not the wind-up type. They're the ones that need batteries. So it's like, can I take my favorite one to Walmart and see if they can, either Walmart or a watch repair place, and see if they can open it up and put a new battery in it. I also have one or two dress type nice watches that are good for like special occasions. They're both dead. They both need, well, one of them I think needs batteries. The other one I think I just need to wind up. I'm not sure. I have to go look at them. I have my father's old watch. Well, shouldn't say old, but I don't know when he bought it. The crystal cracked one time, a long time ago, and they can never get that repaired because they don't make that watch no more, which means the crystal face, nobody makes the crystal face to replace it or repair it. That was what they call a kinetic watch. Basically, you can wind it up and slap it on, and as you move, it helps keep it running, basically. I think it's a Casio. It's either a Casio. No, it's got to be a Timex. It's like a 1950s, 1960s watch. I had to remove the band because I could not adjust it for my wrist. So I removed the band and put something else in its place. I don't even know where that is. Once I find it, it's going to go into a safe location so it doesn't get lost again. I'm 99.9% sure it's in my mini jewelry box, which I'm going to get rid of because Jerry's got this big stand-up jewelry case that I know has 10 times more room than she needs for jewelry and whatnot. So I'm hoping that I will have a couple places to put some of my stuff because I don't have that much jewelry. That in fact, most of the rings that I have, except for maybe 2 or 3 rings, I wear. And the 2 rings that I have, basically my wedding band and my Nordic runic band. So whatever rings that I have either are too big, too small, or for one reason or another don't fit me. One particular ring that I have that I don't wear because in fact it doesn't fit. It's either too big on one hand or too small on the other hand. I could probably go to a jeweler and have them fix it so it would fit. And I would probably put it on this ring finger, and that's my high school graduation ring. Even though I didn't graduate, it has my graduation date, my school, things of that line. In fact, if you guys ever want me to do a video of my treasures, this would be my jewelry or most of my jewelry is my treasures. And if you ever want me to do a video of what I have in my jewelry box and explain it before we put it in her before we combine our 2 jewelries into one big box, let me know. The reason why I'm combining my jewelry with her jewelry is, one, I don't wear a lot of jewelry. I wear my Thor's hammer or Mjolnir. I wear my wedding band. I wear my Nordic rune band. I actually have a ring in my stuff that Mom gave me. It's basically a ring that my father had commissioned. He made 2 different rings, one with her name on it, my mom's name, which he wore a lot, until it started to give him problems because it was catching on his work. And then he just put it in a jewelry box and don't know what happened to it. And then the other ring, which he made for her with his name on it, just Jim. It was made out of literally, the rings were made out of Filipino pesos with gold, their names in gold on top, and connected to it. So I don't know how much they're worth, but they're unique, one of a kind type bands, which was what Dad wanted. Dad did a lot of things to show his, love and appreciation for Mom. Between the Filipino furniture, the portraits, the rings, and a few other different things that I don't remember because they've probably gotten lost in time. But I have all that stuff. I have a few things that I bought that I thought looked cool to me, but found out that either the material that it was made out of was made out of impure materials, basically. The type of materials that will change your finger green, could leach toxins if worn too long, things like that. And I went, it looks great on the website, but not on my hand. But I kept them because, in fact, I thought they were neat looking. And if anything, somebody, me, Jerry, whomever, could wear it on a chain around their neck. So yeah. But we are done in the bedroom. We got the H cabinet in there, and all my clothes and all my stuff that I took out of the nightstands and the dresser and whatnot taken care of. We went through and purged a lot of the stuff that was in the storage bins for the various locations and said, don't know what that's for, don't think I've ever used it, or don't need it no more, or things like that. We found, because in fact all my clothes fit in the spots where I wanted them to be, the underside, the cabinet part that had the doors, is now storing our medicine and whatnot, so it's out of sight and nicely neatly put in bins and whatnot to put underneath behind the doors. The left side, which because my nightstand does not open all the way, so what's in that side is basically stuff that we don't get to all the time. It's stuff that we get into once in a blue moon. In fact, I'm probably going to put ace bandages or something like that, stuff like that, behind that cabinet. And then the right side, which opens up all the way, is where the extra medical stuff is, our medicines, our topicals, things of that nature. Then we're planning on finding a fabric that's neutral in color that we both enjoy, that is lighter than what we want to do. Is we want to find a fabric that we both enjoy that's neutral, does not have toile or scroll work, or it doesn't look too feminine. Maybe a lighter brown or a blue or something that we can tack to the inside via Velcro. Tack fabric on the inside of the H cabinet, so when you close the door, you see the fabric, but you see the beautiful scroll work on that cabinet, so it won't be hidden by fabric, but my clothing and all the stuff that I don't want people to see on a regular basis will be hidden. And then the very top area, we're going to leave open so people can see that, and I'm going to use that for decor, decor display, things of that nature. So we've got ideas. We're working on. It's coming. Excuse me. Post nails are dripping in the morning. Gotta love it. And I'm out of coffee. But the room is coming along. Just a couple minor touch-ups and then some cleaning and dealing with electrical supplies and plugging in chargers and the little things that you do after the furniture has been put in place. So I'm happy about that. And then after that, I need to come in here and spruce up this room just a little bit. Here's an unfortunate thing that's going to be It's most of the stuff that's in this room that's cluttering up this room is temporary. I know that. I agree with Jerry. There's a few things in here we got to decide where we're going to store it if we can't find a home for it. Or I know that there's a couple things sitting here next to me and a couple things along the side here and a couple boxes and whatnot behind my right side that are part of the garage sale stuff. The reason why I have not put it in the car is because of our plans for going to Texas, which I'll tell you about in a moment. And then, of course, this stuff over my left shoulder is Harry Potter that we got to find a new location for, or I'm going to try to find a way to hide it. I might throw a drape or something, or curtain or something over it just to hide it. Of course, once we get in here to decorate this room, which will be the absolute, well, it won't be the absolute last room to decorate, but it will be one of the last rooms to get decorated. I'm more focused on trying to get our bedroom to look cozy and comfortable and happy and vibrant. So when we get our new king-size mattress, which should be arriving hopefully any day now, please. QVC, quit. Anyhow, supply and demand. We paid for it. We bought it. They said it was going to take a little bit longer because of everybody wants this new mattress. I got, which you'll see, I will put the video up sometime soon. I got 3 new tapestries for this room. One was a beautiful wolf tapestry, blue type colorization, which I'm like, that'll help cover up these gray walls. I just got to figure out where to put them, because I have the one that's hanging up behind me, the new blue one that came with these nice hanging devices. Basically, the white parts you hammer into the wall, and then it came with these little. They have hooks, and it comes with these little clips. So you clip your tapestry on it, and then you hook the ring over the white part. So I'm like, ooh, that's fancy. I wonder if I can find some more so I don't have to put holes or clips or whatever through the tapestry, because I got a big one. I mean, a huge one, which I'm thinking will be great behind me. It's a big red Nordic wolf that will probably cover up that whole curtain area. And because the curtains are red, it's red with black. When the sunlight hits it just right, and it shows, I'm gonna test it, and if it shows through the curtain and the tapestry to make it pop, I'm gonna be like, it stays there. If not, I'll figure out something different. Then I also got this. It looks like a tapestry, but you can use it as a throw rug from Harry Potter, which Michelle Weeks sent to me, and I was like, ooh, somebody's listening, somebody's learning, ooh, somebody knows. So I'm really happy about that. So the wall that's over the buffet is probably going to be, over the table over there is going to be Harry Potter. I'm going to have the blue wolf, the Nordic ship, and then the red wolf behind me. So it's going to be literally, most of the exposed walls that I have room will have tapestries. The non-exposed walls, which is there, I've got a couple of different walls. So between the tapestries I got, some of the banners that I have from Jerry Ann's Harry Potter birthday, the different house flags, basically, things of that nature, I'm going to be like, I want the tapestries up first and foremost. The banners don't have to go up, but if I have space, I might put them up. But at the same time, I've got to make it feel comfortable and something I enjoy. I don't want to go overboard, because that's one of the things that the Hagee book suggests, is not to go overboard. So, worst case scenario, the Harry Potter stuff, the flags, the throw, won't be used in this room. The throw, Jerry Ann is already like, if you don't use it as a tapestry, I want it. And I'm like, well, I thought it was going to be yours anyhow, because I'm not the uber Harry Potter fan. Yes, I like Harry Potter, but she's the Potterhead. So, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I want to come in here, spruce up this room before we go on vacation. I have a backpack for my Dungeons and Dragons stuff, because Lisa's oldest son, who plays Dungeons and Dragons, basically sent a message through his mom to Jerry, to me, saying, bring your D&D your D&D stuff. And I went, okay, I was planning on it anyhow, because whether I play D&D with him and his friends, I have a D&D campaign in the works that I wanted to play with Jerry, but Jerry's kind of like, well, it would be better off if we had at least one more person, so it's a little bit more of an interesting campaign. And I went, she's right. She is right about that. I just have to find a third or more people, or find a group here in Rolla that wants to play D&D. But I don't really want people coming into my house right now to play D&D, because of the fact that we are in the middle of our finalized works. So it's kind of like, maybe I'll still work on the campaign and make it and finish it, and then maybe I'll find somebody who's willing, some willing people who wouldn't mind playing D&D. So it's like one of those, gotta get on the local Rolla website and see if there's any people looking to play a Nordic based or Norse Viking based campaign. And then I'll be able to test out my D&D skills, my DM skills. There we go, Dungeon Master skills. But anyhow, that's not really important. That's just something that I would like to do on the side. People are starting to mow their lawn, because it's going to be a good weekend. It's supposed to be a nice, dry weekend or supposed to be nice and dry without storms until Thursday. And we may be heading down to Texas next weekend, the 11th or so, to head to Texas. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about next, is our trip to Texas. So hopefully we're not driving back to Texas in severe downpours or God forbid, tornadic issues. Because we are heading in through, if we go the long way, we're heading through Oklahoma. Oklahoma is like tornado central. It is the starting point of Tornado Alley, and Tornado Alley goes north through Kansas, through Missouri, up into the Dakotas. And I'm like, ooh, I might have to take a look at the weather reports and radars and whatnot for that weekend. But I won't be able to do that until we get closer to Friday, next Friday. Or I should say this coming Friday. The 10th, if we're leaving the 11th. Of course, I kind of think it would be better to leave during the weekday, because less traffic. Less people on the road during the weekdays until you get closer to the city, because this time of year weekends are like, oh, let's go camping, we have a weekend off, and they go camping. So I have a phone notification. Luckily it didn't turn off my recording, otherwise I would have gotten mad. But our trip to Texas, basically Lisa is driving her vehicle here. We're cleaning out the back end of the minivan of all the bags. All the bags that are in the back of the minivan that we were leaving there for a possible yard sale or taking to Goodwill. I like to take it to Goodwill, but Jerry wants to get the newer clothes, or the clothes that still have price tags on them, and try to sell them at a yard sale with a bunch of our other odds and ends. Which I'm like, whatever you want to do, hun, as long as we can get it out of the house. So the bags that are in the back of the minivan, I don't know how many bags, I didn't even count them, but I'm going to say at least 20. Maybe. Somewhere between 15 and 20, I'm guessing. They're going to come back in here. That's why I want to clean it up in here, pack up my D&D stuff, so I'm not trying to climb over garbage bags full of stuff. But I probably will not bring those garbage bags into the house until Tuesday. So Tuesday morning after I do my vlog, I'm going to go and bring them into here, put them in here nice and neat and organized, as best as I can without breaking or damaging stuff. There's a green tote with glassware in our mudroom, which is kind of like being a pain in the butt because it's in front of the pantry. I think I'm going to bring that and slide it in here out of traffic way, but it's in here, won't cause any more problems with anybody. There's a piece of furniture that we were going to bring in here, but I don't know how I'm going to set it up with the room's condition. So what I might do is I might come in here and try to clean up this area behind me to put that piece of furniture so it's not in Mom's way. That, in fact, I won't come home and have to hear her complain about it. I couldn't do this because it was blocking the coat closet or blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, sorry, Mom. So that's probably going to come in here as well. Whether I put it behind me temporarily or up against my cabinets there temporarily until I can clean up and fix up, because that's going to be like the last piece of furniture in here to be. Sorry, I have to get rid of this. This started annoying the crud out of me. To be the last piece of furniture that comes in here after we get things settled, because I figured if I put it behind me, so if I was sitting center, which means I'm gonna have to back you up, which is fine. I got floor space. It's gonna be right here, so I can put stuff on it. I can lean on it. I'm working here, but I need this space to work here so I can go back and forth. That, in fact, will have 3 drawers if it's in the right spot. And that's one of the reasons why we did what we did over here. Because if I put it here, it's going to block me from getting to that back area. And that back area I'm not worried about because it's dairy and stuff. But I can put it there. I can put it here. I won't have to worry about getting back there for a long time. I have 3 drawers to put whatever in it. Extra office supplies, D&D books, drafting stuff, whatever. Stuff that I work on once in a while, and I can put it in the drawers to get off the desk. and make room for me to spread my stuff out a little bit more or decorate it a little bit better, stuff like that. Because what I'd like to do is I'd like to clean up that area. Well, you still can't see it. Darn it! I'm sorry. That area underneath the light switches, has my drafting stuff. I'd like to clean up that area and put the owl in that corner. So when I come in the room, one, I have something to greet me. And almost, depending on how I set it up and whatnot, might even almost look like a guard dog of some sort, like, don't touch these lights. Don't touch these switches. No touchy the switches. Yes, I'm being goofy because I'm in that frame of mind. I'm giddy. I'm giddy for two different reasons. One, everything is, I mean, I am now literally seeing the broad spectrum picture of the way the rooms are going to look. And yes, I still have a little bit of a clutter in here because this room, the eating area at the one end of the table, the craft room, which is going to be the last room we'll work on, has become a mini storage facility because I don't have the money to buy a shed or pay a monthly fee of $25 for a storage facility. That in fact, of this time of year, I don't really want my stuff in a storage facility because it is a time of the year where everything and anything could crawl into your stuff and make a home. Between mice looking for a cool place to live, spiders, possible snakes, depending on where the storage facility is. The cheapest one we found, which is kind of like on the outskirts of town, is $20 to $25 a month. And I'm like, no. So I'm like, all right, so certain rooms are going to have to look like staging sites. Other rooms are going to have to just be whatever, storage facilities until we can get everything done. Like, most of the stuff that's here, and, well, mostly the box spring for the queen and a few other little things are being temporarily stored in the room. The boxes and whatnot alongside of me and behind me, next to the Harry Potter stuff, is a combination of garage sale and stuff that we have accumulated as gift items that we keep on forgetting to send out for Christmas. Luckily, some of the bags or boxes that we have stored in the house that are supposed to be gifts for Lisa and Lisa's daughters will be going to Texas with us. But I keep on getting off the subject, and I'm sorry. When Lisa gets here, we got to clean out the back end of the minivan, which means all those white bags that were stacked up and piled up back here are going to come in here for the duration of our vacation, so they're not just sitting out and about. We are basically, she's going to drive her Prius up here. She's going to park and store the Prius in where our minivan is, and we're going to drive the minivan to Texas with all the gifts for them, our luggage, clothes, whatnot, my D&D stuff, which is, a backpack worth. And then Lisa is going to basically drive the minivan back to Texas. Or Lisa and Jerry are going to, you drive so far, I'll drive so far, and then we'll switch back type of situation. I would offer to drive some of the way, but I'm not really I'm not ready to do a long haul drive. I will definitely not drive through a city. I'm like, okay, we got 50 miles to Tulsa. I'm pulling over, we're switching. Who wants to take over? I won't drive through a big city. Not just yet. Why? I will cause the trip to extend itself an extra hour, which we don't need, which we don't have to deal with, just so I can drive safely through a city. I'm not ready for city traffic. I don't like the aggressive, chaotic nature that city people can have driving through town, and everybody seems to be in a rush to get someplace for no reason. I don't deal with that. That and the fact that I've seen how they drive in Texas. They drive worse than they do in New York. I would drive New York City any day of the week. But the Dallas area, or not Dallas, the Houston area, them people are loco. I mean, we'll be driving down the road and the speed limit clearly says 50, and all of a sudden, here comes a whole, I mean, not just one, but a massive group of vehicles flying by us at 10 to 15, maybe 20 miles above the speed limit. And I'm like, whose butt's on fire, or what ungodly creation is chasing you to make you drive that fast? I'm sorry. Yes, it can get hot in Texas. There's a lot of sun. It's close to the coastline, so there's heat plus some humidity. I don't see any reason to be driving like, the devil himself is trying to light your butt on fire. It's just nuts. And I'm like, how is it people have not, I mean, I think I'm not positive, this is just my thoughts. The death toll in Texas because of car accidents, because of the way they drive down there, has got to be one of the highest road accident death tolls in the nation. But I'm guessing, because there's a lot of places I have not been that they say drive just as chaotically or crazy as Texas people do. And I'm starting to think that it's not just Texas. I think it's any major city. A lot of major cities that people just drive like there's no tomorrow. But I don't know. I've only been to St. Louis, Dallas, New York. Those are the only 3 major cities I've been into since I started to pay attention to people and how they drive. But anyhow, of course, let me finish that little story. We're gonna go up there. We're gonna stay for 2 weeks or however long we feel comfortable. Jerry might want to be there for 2 weeks. Jerry might want to be there longer. It depends on comfort levels and things like that. Our plans are to go down there and visit and have a good time. Not just work. Jerry wants to go to certain places that she doesn't get to go to that often because they don't have them up in New York, like the 99-cent store and 1 or 2 other places. One of the places I want to go to that has money relations or expenditure-wise is maybe a bookstore or comic book store, particularly a comic book store that they don't have up here, or a D&D type store that has comic books in it, so I can just, I don't know, I might buy something, I might not. I know if I go to the bookstore, Jerry's going to be like, take your Amazon app, use that barcode on there, and scan the barcode on the book and see how much it is at Amazon. And I'm going to be like, the whole point of me going to a bookstore is not to see or compare prices with Amazon. It's to go find something I want, and I want it now. I don't want to wait. I don't want to order it and wait until I get back home to Missouri to decide if we're going to get it or not. That to me is very unfair, that she can go shopping and get whatever she wants right there and then, but I have to price compare. Yeah. And my whole thing is I'm going down there not to spend money. I'm going down there to enjoy the camaraderie and the friendship. If I go to spend any money, especially exuberant amounts of money, is to do one thing and one thing only to spend the money on, and that's get my freaking tattoo. Um, I'm getting a little upset with Jerry because she's like, hold off, hold off, hold off, and all of a sudden it's like, it almost feels like to me she's trying to get me not to get my tattoo because of what it represents. I don't know. There's something subconscious going on with her about me getting my tattoo. The tattoo place that I shopped around at that gave me price quotes on what it would cost for the average tattoo of that caliber, $250. It might be less, it might be more in Texas. I don't know. I was actually thinking about looking at the 2 tattoo places that were closest to Jerry, or not to Jerry, to Lisa, and trying to get a hold of them via text messaging, and send them a picture of the tattoo that I want, and ask them how much it would cost for a simple, basic tattoo on my forearm, the other side of my forearm. That shouldn't be too big. It should be only maybe 4 by 6 or 6 by 8 inch size tattoo. Don't know. I have a smaller body and skin size and whatnot, smaller wrists and lighter skin tone than the average Texan. So, I don't know, but that's just me. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Oh, no, I'm not. I keep on getting off subject because all the thoughts going through my head now. The method for us to get home is either A, Emily is going to come back with her 3 boys to Missouri, spend a little bit of time with us, and then depending on if she gets the job that she's trying to get or whatever, Emily might come down with us, spend a couple days to a week, and then drive her mom's Prius back to New York, back to Texas. I'm getting my locations wrong because all the different places that I've been, all the places I've been thinking about, and it's just like, why am I thinking about New York? Why? Emily's not going back to New York. She's in New York. She should be back from New York before Lisa leaves to come here. Like, I think she's supposed to be coming back Monday. She's supposed to be going back to Texas. She went up to New York to visit, her father and friends and family members up in New York. I was thinking about Arizona because it's very warm down there, and I've got family down there, and I'm always like, you sure you don't want to move to someplace with seasons and not constant 100-degree heat? Yeah, it might be a little humid and it might be a little bit cool to you guys for your first year or so until you get acclimated to the climate, but I worry about people who live in Arizona and Texas and places that can get extreme. Like, even the Native Americans did not stay in the lower hot country. I mean, Arizona is known for the Apaches and a few other different Native American tribes, but most of them went closer to the Grand Canyon and whatnot when lower Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson region got into the, let's fry an egg on the sidewalk temperature. And yes, I've seen people drop eggs on the sidewalk in Arizona and watch them fry. If an egg hits the concrete and fries within minutes, what do you think is happening to your brain, which is stuck inside your head? That heat causes, problems with your internal systems because you're cooking yourself. Now, granted, yes, we have the escape of an air-conditioned building or an air-conditioned car, if the air conditioner works. That keeps you cool enough that you're not cooking yourself from the inside out, but still. I'm sorry. You drop an egg on the sidewalk or a natural rock formation of its own, and the egg starts to sizzle and cook practically instantaneously. That's too freaking hot. I'm sorry. And I don't want to live there. And there's a reason why the area of Yuma, Arizona, and why they built a town called Yuma, Arizona. Don't ask me. I'd have to look at the histories. But Yuma, Arizona is on the border of Arizona and California in an area nicknamed, or actually named, I don't even know if it's a nickname or not, whatnot, but it's called Death Valley. Why? Because nothing really grows down there except for maybe tumbleweed. And a couple of years ago, I said about a decade ago, I think, Yuma, Arizona reached an all-time high of 130 degrees. I'm sitting there going 130 degrees in the sun, and gasoline in cars weren't exploding, houses weren't melting. I can only say that the only place I can think of in my brain that would be hotter than Yuma, Arizona would be like, I don't know, Venus, Mercury, one of those two planets. I'm like, no, Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. It's only almost a 45-minute long video. Just food for a lot of different food for thought. If you like this vlog, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, and I'm probably sure that I left open a lot of areas for questions, but if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in the question comment section. If you're new to my channel and you like my vlog or like other vlogs, and you haven't subscribed yet, this might be the day. This might be the day that you say, you know, let's go ahead and subscribe. He's got some interesting thoughts. So you can hit that subscribe button if you choose to. And then there'll be a little bell that pops up, and click on that bell. And YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. So until next time, you guys have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.